Well, hello, and welcome to today's episode of Stream Stealers. I'm Mark Pikert, editor-in-chief of Playbill, and I'm very excited about today's guest, Michael Mosley, who, one, I saw in The Glass Menagerie when Judith Ivey did it off-Broadway as Amanda Wingfield. It was fantastic, stupendous. And two, he was recently in Sister Aimee, the indie movie mostly true, about Sister Aimee Semple McPherson, with whom I've long been obsessed, and is the reason Kathy Lee Gifford once called me a gift from God. We might get into that, we might not, I don't know. And he's going to be seen coming up next month on Fox's upcoming NEXT, starring John Slattery. So let's bring him on.
Hi, Mark, thanks for having me.
Long list of credits. Thank you for coming.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't come anywhere. I walked downstairs and I'm sitting in front of my laptop, and so this is the new norm. Fox gave me this light for these Zoom interviews. Does this look okay? Does everything look okay?
Yeah, you look great.
Okay, good. All right.
I like that Fox is taking care of you with that Disney movie.
Yeah, they are. They definitely, they're throwing it around.
So next is coming up. So John Slattery has created AI that all of a sudden, too late, he realizes is probably the end of mankind. And so he gets bumped from his company. He's trying to figure out a way to stop it. And you play a Southern hacker who is working for the cybercrimes unit of the FBI.
Yeah. He's kind of like he kind of has a checkered past, kind of maybe he might have had some affiliation with some kind of alt-right kind of organization. But we're not quite sure if he still stands by that kind of thing or not. But he definitely gets a lot of heat from those around him, which is rightfully so. Some of that voice is a little questionable. I mean, definitely very questionable these days.
That, I mean, in real life sounds awful, but for an actor, it sounds like such a fun role to sink your teeth
it's not our job to judge these things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as a consumer or as a citizen, I can judge all I want, but when you're going to play the guy, you have to figure out what's going on in his head and in his heart,
Yeah, of course. How many episodes had you filmed before pandemic shut everything down?
We did 10, but we were like one of the first people to get Corona. One of our producers got it, and she was on set, and I remember she looked like she was sick. But back in the day, when you're sick, you just keep going. You know what I mean? That's what you do. Yeah. You don't let your brain, you don't let yourself be sick. You have to work. The show must go on. So nobody blamed her or anything like that. Nobody knew what this thing was back then. But we were really lucky. We wrapped our final episode. They put us on a plane and sent us back home. And then we found out that someone had been sick on set. And then we quarantined ourselves. And we've been sitting around. I mean, the whole country, everybody's been sitting on their ass ever since.
Where were you filming?
We were in Chicago.
Nice.
You ever been?
Yeah, I love Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's great. We were in Chicago in the winter, so that's not the time to be in Chicago. Chicago in the summer is a lot of fun. but I love Chicago. I did a show called Sirens that we shot in Chicago, and so I was out there for a couple of years, and I really came to love that town. I'm from Iowa originally, and so my dad put a White Sox hat on my head when I was born. So Chicago's always had a place in my heart.
I totally forgot about Sirens. I loved that show.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that one. That was like that was like, it's doing comedies like when I did Scrubs or doing Sirens. It's just like if you feel like you're robbing them, because you go to work and you just crack each other up all day, and then a writer or director will come and whisper an alternate line into your ear, and then your scene partner doesn't know that's coming out, and then I don't know. It's just fun. If you get the camera guy to start shaking, you're doing something right because he's trying not to laugh.
I feel like Sirens came along at just the wrong time when all of TV was shifting and it fell through the cracks, and the people who found it loved it, and not enough people found it.
USA was going to do this, like, USA kind of had this blue sky kind of programming, you know what I mean? With like kind of I don't mean that pejoratively at all or anything. It just was like suits and
that's what they call it.
That's what they call it, right? And then they acquired Modern Family, and I think they were talking about getting into the comedy game. And then I think Mr. Robot hit, and then they were Emmy bait suddenly, and then they were like, oh wait, let's go back. Let's do it differently. So we squeezed 2 seasons out of it, but I think they shifted direction.
That's right, because right around Sirens was also Michaela Watkins benched with Eliza Coupe.
That's right,
And,
Eliza, with my friend from Scrubs, yeah.
Yeah, and Jessica St. Clair and Lennon Parham's playing house.
Yes. Yeah, they were. We met them at a couple USA things, and they were really lovely ladies.
Yeah, that was a great time to be a comedy on USA, and the worst of times to be a comedy on USA.
Yeah. No, but I met some lifelong friends on that show. Me and the Kevins, we would just sit in the ambulance and spend days in that thing. And it's like every little kid's dream. Like they let me drive the thing, like over medians and like swerve. It was like fun.
But before that, you were also, I have to say, The Glass Menagerie with Judith Ivey was so amazing. And Patch, and it was just, she was so great. And not an Amanda Wingfield that you would immediately think of, but found that way that Southern women have of papering over awkwardness with company manners.
Yes, yeah.
And using company manners with her own kids.
Right, and the judginess and everything, and just like so disappointed in everybody. And like, yeah, that was a really magical thing. I mean, that was probably the best play I've ever gotten to be a part of that I can think of. I mean, it was just, it's Tennessee Williams, and it's like The Gentleman Caller is like, I don't know. I didn't, sometimes he can kind of be this like prop, like he's just kind of this thing that gets planted in the middle of his family, and it's all about them kind of circling around him. And so it was fun to kind of for him to kind of get to like, I don't know. I just had fun tinkering with that guy, and then Kira Keeley, who was our Laura. It was fun. It was just a really fun, beautiful thing. We got to do it. We got extended, and people seemed to get a kick out of it. It's good to be back in New York.
It was great, I have to say.
Well, thanks, man.
Do you miss doing theater?
I do, but I've been doing film and television now for so long. Like I'm kind of scared now, to be honest. Like I don't think I
got craft services now.
When are we gonna have theater again? This is so sad.
I know.
I mean, maybe outdoor. We'll do outdoor theater now for next year.
That's all the rage.
Yeah.
Just maybe not in Chicago in the winter.
No. Real quick theater. If it's in the winter, I'll have to be like Quibi.
I don't know. I'm getting an image of an immersive Frozen, the musical, in Chicago in like February. So the first one's free, producers.
Maybe that's what it is.
But I also have to talk about Sister Aimee because I'm long obsessed with Sister Aimee Semple McPherson.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about her until I got the script.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was so fun. That was such a fun little boob to get to play that guy. That guy was such with his like, his his kind of like he kind of has this masculinity like prop. That he's trying to kind of exert himself on these women who are clearly more celebrated and more capable and tougher and like more, like just absolutely 100% his superior. But for some reason he is kind of trying to wield this. But anyway, I don't know. I didn't know anything about that until I auditioned for it, and then I got it. It's fun. We shot in Austin and then did a lot of those exteriors in Santa Fe. So they got a lot of big, beautiful mountain shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things about watching indie movies for the last 10, 15 years. Seeing the quality that you can get and on a micro budget is breathtaking because it's just the technology is there now. And so this tiny movie with no budget looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it was really ambitious. I mean, it was a period piece from when was she around? 26. I'm looking at it right now. 1926. Yeah. I mean, it was like we were driving like a Model Ford M that like was breaking down every day. Like it was, that's another perk is getting to, do a stick shift in one of those old cars. I mean, there was just, it was a fun gig, man.
Yeah. And Anna Margaret Hollyman was great as Aimee.
Yeah, she was. And that was another trip, where we were riding around in that car the whole time, just busting each other's balls, like trying to crack each other up all day. It was fun.
So to go back to the thing that you're actually here to talk about, how did neXt come around for you?
next, I just got the script and it was not like anything I had read. It like really cooked and it was really kind of heady I was waiting for a pilot to get released from a pilot, and I went in and it was looking like a pilot wasn't gonna go, and so I went in for these guys. They kind of let me come in, even though I was in second position or whatever. They were in second position or whatever they call that. And then at the last minute, the pilot was a no-go, and then they were like, "All right, come on over to neXt," and it was great. And it's like a heady cyber thriller type of thing. The clock's ticking and there's a cliffhanger at the end of every episode. It's something I haven't really done before, which is fun.
Nice.
Being part of that, these Avengers, this team, team of misfits that are like going after this kind of faceless but bloodless bad guy, which is this AI, which is kind of, it's cool. It's a villain that doesn't have it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's kind of a weird concept.
Well, and the amazing thing is there is a full TV shortage, so all of America will be tuning in like it's the 70s again. And they only have 3 channels.
Quite a captive audience we have, don't we? I mean, it's sad, but it's definitely very sad. But yeah, people need content. People need things some escapism and some stuff to get their mind off of the news.
Well, and that leads me perfectly into our final question, which is, what have you been watching in quarantine?
Oh God, I knew you were going to ask me that. Everything. People ask me that, and I literally say everything, but then I can't come up with specifics because I think my mind is so numb. I watched Hamilton like 5 times because I was like, I saw it once at Pantages here in Los Angeles, but everybody had been talking about that cast and that ticket and that it was like the toast of the town, and so I wanted to. I kind of like was studying it. I was just like, so what? Let me look at this. I mean, it's amazing. It's a fascinating thing. The Mandalorian was really dope. I'm not really into sci-fi stuff so much, but yeah, documentaries, everything. I feel like I watched everything.
Michael
What have you been watching?
Did you do the Michael Jordan?
I did do the Michael Jordan. That was like what do they call it? Event viewing when you like I would show up on the Sunday night that it was on and watch it live with and then my friends and I would get on a poker game or something afterwards and talk about it. Yeah, event viewing. What do they call that?
Yeah, event
Something
viewing
like that. Yeah, that thing was really cool. That thing was really great. Michael Jordan's fascinating.
What
have you been watching? What have you been watching? What do I need to watch?
Everything. Truly everything.
Right.
Anything that premiered this summer, I have seen, except I May Destroy You, because I was waiting until it finished. So the HBO, Michaela Cole.
Yes, I watched that. She is fascinating. She's like,
I cannot wait.
She can spin 5 plates at the same time. She could be funny and snarky and sad and like heartbreaking, and she's like 80 things at once. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm so excited. I didn't want to the week to week wait. I just couldn't handle that in the middle of everything.
You just wanted to eat it like popcorn all in one day in your underwear or something? Yeah.
I will say I also watched all of Brave New World on Peacock in a single day.
What's that? I haven't watched that.
Harry Lloyd stars. It's the adaptation of the Aldous Huxley novel about a utopia that's made.
Oh yeah, I've read the book. Yeah.
It's great. It's really great. Demi Moore is there as like a boozy mom.
Great. That sounds great.
So yeah, check it out.
I will. I started watching something called Raised by Wolves that Ridley Scott is directing, but I don't think he created it. It's about some dystopian future again, where I don't know. It's crazy.
Is that?
It's on Max. It's on HBO Max. HBO Max came in and shook up the snow globe, didn't it? Right there at the end, right there.
HBO Max. I was like, oh my god, do I really need this? And then I started flipping through the movies. And I was like, oh my god, it's literally every movie that I've wanted to watch for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that was clever timing.
All right. neXt premieres on Fox October
6th. I don't know what time yet. They didn't tell us all that, but I've seen. They've been really cool at Fox. They just got a new head of the network. He came over from AMC. He's a really cool guy. And they released, they gave us 5 episodes. And I don't think I've ever been given 5 episodes before we started shooting. And me and the cast have watched it and Zoomed about it. And I'm not joking. Like, we're all like kind of pumped. I mean, we all think this thing might have wheels. It's fun and it cooks and the work in it is really great. We were all kind of, at first we were all kind of coupled up over here, over there. So we didn't get to see what everybody was doing until like all the Avengers come at the end, to kind of help. And so that's when we kind of all got to see each other's work. But so we're getting to see it all for the first time. And I think we're all kind of, pleasantly surprised. And hopefully this thing, I really think people will like it. It should be fun. Tune in.
Nice. And who cares what time things air live? Nobody does that.
I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Unless it's the Michael Jordan documentary.
Unless it's that, yeah. Yeah. Sopranos. Oh, that's back in the day we used to do that but yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And I think we're going to Hulu. I think we'll be streaming somewhere
Nice.
after it airs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now TV's on my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell me when I can watch things. I choose. I say when. I say where.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why so much of live TV now is like competition-based stuff. It's like it's got to be, you're going to get thrown off the dancing. You're going to Dancing with the Stars, or thrown off the stage, or thrown off the island, or you're not going to get a rose. It has to be competitive. It has to be like a sport. So that way I have to watch it now, because otherwise, if it's narrative, there's no reason. I want to watch 5 of them. You know what I mean? With my, in my bed. Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much for joining me
today. Hey, Mark, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for getting the workout.
Please, my pleasure. And guys, tune into neXt when it premieres on Fox on October 6th, or whenever you desire to watch it.
Exactly.
I'm not here to tell you when. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. And everyone enjoy their days.